Hello, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers. This is your tarot and oracle reading for the eclipse season 2025, the first eclipse season. So this will take place on March 14th when we have the lunar eclipse in Virgo. And then on the 29th, we have the solar eclipse in Aries. In between these two dates, it's going to be the strongest, but you'll also be able to feel eclipse season energy in the weeks prior and after those dates. So essentially, eclipse seasons are times of great change. Lots of endings take place, emotional intensity, new beginnings as well, but mostly endings, the endings of karmic cycles. It's essentially like the universe just picks us up by the shoulders and readjusts us and puts us on the right direction, the right path. And this is specifically going to be expressing itself in the signs of Virgo and Aries, and those two signs are all about the balance between what you give and what you take, what you receive. Virgo represents our responsibilities, our work in life, how we care for our bodies, our homes, our children, our pets, our relationships, everything, like what we give back to others, to society. And then Aries is all about self, receiving, nurturing yourself and your ideas. So if there's anything that needs adjusting on that scale, it will be adjusted during eclipse season. So Sagittarius, you have the Animal Kingdom card coming out as a message from your spirit guides. Wow. Okay. Animals of all types are extraordinary creatures and miraculous gifts to us. They've been our spiritual companions since the dawn of time. At this moment, they have lessons to share with you that will open your heart and soul. Very beautiful. Animal Kingdom. So animals may be coming through as a big part of this eclipse season for some reason. Some of you guys may be getting a puppy, a kitten, a new pet, or planning to do so, or caring for an animal at an increased level. Some of you guys may even just be feeding the birds outside, which, by the way, if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, February and March is a great time to feed the local birds because that's when a lot of them begin migrating back, and obviously we're still in the tail end of winter. So if you want to attract all the birds to your property, I highly recommend feeding them in February and March, okay? I used to have hundreds of birds out back my old house by doing that, and they would return every year. The same birds, same exact birds, same families. I knew their nests. I knew them by personality. Like I had a relationship with these birds. And I don't know why I'm going off on this tangent. Anyways, I'm just seeing you connect with the animal kingdom more to some capacity, okay? There's a lot to learn there. We also have calmness. I don't know why I'm seeing peace. I'm seeing serenity. And it's like, sometimes it's funny because this eclipse season, it's known to be so emotionally turbulent, chaotic, etc. And I feel like you're the only sign that's just coming through with this vibe, this energy of just being chill, being chill through the changes of the world. Some of you guys may be making some changes, like not watching the news anymore, but rather reading the news, keeping yourself updated, but not, especially if you live in the United States, you get the point. Keeping it calm, keeping it chill, protecting your mental health is very important. And it's also very important to stay informed of what's going on in the world. But man, let me tell you, like, these news shows, I say in quotations, they're more opinion shows, just tell people how to think and cultivate so much fear in people. And you know what? Fear controls people. So I always recommend people, as a life coach, as somebody who gets spiritual downloads on a daily basis from source, don't watch the news. Read neutral news. Read it. Because when you're reading, it's a lot easier for you to pick up, oh, this is an opinion piece, or this is objective fact piece, which news should be objective. It should be factual. It should not be, this is how you should think. You're keeping calm, you're keeping cool, you're keeping collected. Some of you guys are just like, acknowledging some of your anxieties, acknowledging, your mental health. And I don't know why I'm getting images in my head of softness, like soft blankets, beautiful pillows, lighting a candle. You know what the funny thing is? I just filmed, you're the 11th sign I'm filming for. I just went straight through all the signs. And then right before I started your reading, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to make myself a nice coffee in my beautiful pink mug. And I'm going to light myself a pink candle in my bronze candlestick. Oh my gosh. So yeah, I don't know why I'm getting this vibe from you, Sagittarius, of just like enjoying the softer side of life, the calm, peaceful, aesthetic side of life, and just nurturing that, you know, in a world where there's politicians who are actually clowns, and, you know, war being joked about like it's nothing. You're choosing to play with puppies. You're choosing to buy fuzzy blankets. You're choosing to keep your sanity and keep yourself aware, of course. But again, animal medicine is so strong for you at this time. Some of you guys may even be looking into, I'm seeing, getting like a side job as a dog walker or dog grooming. I used to be a dog groomer. Or even volunteering at a shelter or something like that. Just wanting to connect with nature in some way. Or even like local wildlife cleanup. You may be volunteering to do that. Really interesting. We have, I feel like, you know, this is the important stuff that a lot of protesters and people who, you know, really spread awareness politically, they undervalue sometimes, is the people who continue to just pour light and beauty into the world. You know, there's a lot to complain about. There's a lot to protest. There's a lot to advocate for. But it's also important to make sure that, you know, you're still cooking beautiful meals for your friends, and you're still talking to your local birds, and you're still taking care of the land that you live on. You know what I mean? It's like there's a lot to be worried about in life, but you're finding a way to just continue to exist in a soft way while simultaneously being aware of the greater global issues. We have the Queen of Wands coming out for you as your first tarot card, by the way. Sagittarius, this is you and your power. And I feel like, you know, the reason why we're talking so much about politics, so much about living the soft life, I mean, that is your sign, right? Being connected to higher education, higher wisdom, higher levels of thinking. But also Sagittarius rules over international affairs, global politics. So, you know, it makes sense that this stuff is coming through in your reading. Queen of Wands, you're maintaining your charm, your warmth, your lights in the world, your happiness. And it's like, it doesn't matter what's going on around you. You're still able to crack a joke. You're still able to live this soft existence, this beautiful existence, to make art, to make people laugh, to make people feel loved. And that's what you're focusing on during this eclipse season. We have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, you may feel called to give back and care. Specifically, like I was saying, for animals or land, okay? Local wildlife cleanup. Or if you own a piece of land with a yard, you know, is your yard just like entirely grass? A non-native grass? You may feel called to play your part in the ecosystem, plant some native plants, or even plant your own food, and just make the most of what you got. I don't know why. I'm seeing Virgo, the sign Virgo, especially while it's in the midst of this eclipse season with Aries. It really calls us to see the ways in which we give to others and give back to the world versus what we take for ourselves. And for a lot of you, you may feel this calling to give back, to make change, to make reform, to just leave the world a better place than you found it and than it is right now. You may feel called to do that in several ways. Two of Wands in reverse, be the change you want to see. The world is your oyster. You are a calm, passionate co-creator of your reality. Four of Cups, yes. Yeah, look to the things that go on globally or around you that you hate and be the change. For example, I used to live in a town very urban, very city-like, right? But the people in that town had yards, okay? And none of them planted trees. And in the summer, it would be 100+ degrees. And there's concrete everywhere because city. And all I wanted to do was just print out like hundreds of flyers explaining to people that if you plant trees on your yard, it creates shade. And when there's shade on the street doesn't heat up immensely. And then we're all not sweating and fighting each other in the summer. Because I swear to God, summers were more violent where I lived. If anyone lives in the Philadelphia area, you know what I'm talking about. June comes around, everyone's angry. Heat waves, oh my gosh, plant some effing trees. The temperature of the street has like a 20-degree difference if there is shade versus no shade. And it just grinded my gears that no one would plant trees because it's like nobody wants to see your ugly house. Nobody wants to see your big ugly lawn, okay? The neighborhood looks prettier with trees. Not to mention the pollution problem would be less of a problem if there were trees. It got under my skin so much. So if this was my reading, if I was a Sagittarius, this would be my sign. Print those flyers out. Staple them to every single telephone wire. And also on my own yard, plant some trees, you know? That would be my sign. What is your sign? We have the 9 of Swords. Yeah, I don't know why. There's like a bothered energy. This reminds me of that song by the Ramones. I can't remember the name of it. Bonzo goes to whatever the heck. Listen to that song. It's a piece about just political anger and being mad at what's going on in the world. It's a masterpiece, actually. And yeah, some of you guys may be just wanting the world itself to change. And another thing that you might want to watch is The Hobbit, the movie. There's 3 movies, or the single book, The Hobbit. It basically gives this message that the greatest thing to combat evil, it's not all this dramatic stuff. It's not, the people who are in the limelight trying to do good. It's actually the simple, everyday, loving energies, having a happy home, a community that you love, happily being in touch with nature, climbing your trees to pick some apples. Those simple pleasures of life are the best way to combat the issues in the planet, and living in harmony with your local ecosystem, with your local land spirits is the best way to live a happy life. And it's so simple, and I wish more people realized how simple it is. We have the Ace of Swords coming out. A new way of living. Yeah, it definitely feels like new energies are just being downloaded into your aura, into your soul. Living a calmer existence, a more peaceful life, more in touch, like I said, with nature, with your own inner artist, your own inner creator. Yeah, and with all the chaos going on in the world, with everything that you don't like, you're really becoming someone that you do like, someone that a lot of people look up to as someone who's inspirational, okay? Thank you so much for joining me. Definitely watch for your sun, moon, rising, and Venus signs to get the fullest overview of this eclipse season. Like this video, comment how it resonated down below, and subscribe if you've not already. If you want a personal reading with me one-on-one, the link to that is always in the description box, spiritpsychic.org. I also offer my intention oils there, shamanic life coaching sessions there, as well as my online tarot reading course, so check it out. Bye-bye.